Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And today we got Tom Downey himself, another draft legend out there in the content creator space from Chat Sports. He released this one like 10 days ago. We're going over it, giving not only you, but myself a break from the position rankings as we'll start that back up again. Monday gives me time to do the graphics behind it. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at his mock draft. This is actually my first time viewing it, so it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. Let's see, number one. I'm assuming he does the draft order based on Vegas betting odds. So if you're butthurt about the draft order, I don't know what to tell you. It's Vegas betting odds, probably. It's usually how a lot of people do the order. But he goes CJ Stroud to the Houston Texans, and what's there not to like? I mean, listen, I'm a big Bryce Young fan, and we'll get to that when I do my quarterback rankings. If you want to know when, it's going to be the last position group I put out because it's probably going to be the most popular one. But CJ, like, the big thing with Young is he's just so small, man. He is so small, and a lot of NFL teams are going to be like, yeah, like, we're cool with, like, Kyler Murray and stuff, but, like, that's just too small. So I think that might honestly push him. I don't think it'll push him down far. Like, dude still probably goes into the top 10 because he's an outstanding prospect. But I can definitely see someone like CJ Stroud, who has the prototypical size, arm talent for the position, going ahead of him. CJ Stroud, really, man, if he comes out hot this year, much like last year, like, yeah, there were points where it's like, he overthrows the ball a ton. His ball placement could use work. I mean, the dude was a first-time starter. I know he was working with a very talented group there at Ohio State, and it's gonna be much of the same. But for all intents and purposes, I can see why people like him. Like, the dude has it. He's I mean, honestly, between him and Young, they were better than anything we had this past draft season. So let's look at, I'm assuming this is Atlanta who he has next. Let's see who's next on the radar. And come on. There we go. Yep, it's Atlanta. Bryce Young. Oh, and by the way, if you're Texans and you're drafting first, yeah, you're taking a quarterback. If you're Atlanta, you're drafting two, yeah, you're taking a quarterback. There's a big two quarterback. There's currently the big two are Stroud, are Young, and then there's a bunch of these guys everyone's projected to do well. So I mean, I'm thinking I don't expect another top quarterback, at least in the top 5. Because I mean, really, we are projecting at that point. Unless Downey absolutely loves somebody, which we'll see. I mean, I guess Will Levis is in the thumbnail now that I'm looking at it, so maybe he goes in the top 5. Maybe we see 3 quarterbacks in the top 5. But if you're Atlanta, listen, if you're drafting number 2, I get it, Desmond Ridder, it makes sense maybe to pass on a quarterback. But if you're drafting number 2 and you have a chance to be like, you know what, yeah, we got Ridder in the 3rd round, but let's go after an elite talent, I think you do it. I mean, think about it, like, quarterback, like, if Ridder comes out and he shows like, oh yeah, he can produce, because you don't have to start Young right away, though. If you're drafting him too, you're probably starting him right away. Then you have 2 good quarterbacks. That's not a bad thing. I get the philosophy, we need to build around these guys, but who's to say Desmond Ridder is the guy? So why not go out and get competition at the most important position for your franchise? So I can see it both ways. I typically lean to the, I would go with a quarterback. But yeah, like I said, the biggest fault on Young right now, the biggest thing is size. By the way, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. And the popular thing now to do on YouTube, if you really support the channel, is to share the video. So go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead, get back to the nitty gritty. But let's keep this train rolling. That looks like the Jets to me. Watch it be like Packers or something. That'd be wild. All right, so it is in fact the Jets. They go Will Anderson. For a lot of people, he's the top defensive prospect in this draft. I really think go check out my edge rankings video. I think it's a lot closer between Myles Murphy and Will Anderson because both are very good at two different type of skill sets because there's like 30 pounds between the two guys. So Will Anderson, you're getting a guy with a very good get off, get after the quarterback, while with Myles Murphy, dude, he's just a physical freaking specimen. So it's really, hey, take who you like, and then you could throw Jalen Carter in there. Like, that dude is an elite prospect for the interior. Like, if you ain't new to the channel, you know I absolutely love Jalen Carter. And if you're the Jets, yeah, Robert Saleh, he likes his pass rush. At least he likes his front four being able to rush the passer. So you could really go with any of those three, in my opinion. So all really good. Let's keep looking. This is in fact quarterback. So it's the Seahawks. They go Will Levis. Listen, I'm not a big fan of Will Levis. I really feel like he's big arm Kenny Pickett, which some people were like, oh, that's wonderful. And I'm like, that's top 50. I don't know. Maybe in the back end of the first round, I'll swing for that. But the pluses to Will Levis, he's operating a very NFL offense there at Kentucky. At least he did last season, and this year not much should change because I think he's got who's the offensive coordinator now? I believe he used to work for the Niners, but Liam Cohen was the former OC there at Kentucky, and he played like he was a wide receiver and quarterbacks coach with the Rams before now being the OC for the Rams. So Will Levis was operating an NFL offense. So there's a lot of pluses there. I just want to see a bit more consistency on his ball placement and just accuracy on all levels of the field. Very good mobility, a guy that can get yards on his feet or with his feet. Good build, strong arm. I like Will Levis, man. I'm just not completely sold on him yet. If you're the Seahawks, yeah, you kind of wanna go quarterback because Geno Smith, Drew Lock, those aren't your guys. But let's go to number 5 here. Let's see. All right, Jalen Carter going to the Jags. So, man, they just keep adding to the front four there. And grab actually Travon Walker's teammate, Jalen Carter. This would actually be a much better pick. But I love Jalen Carter. Go watch my defensive interior video. And it's really hard to nitpick too much about his game. This dude's just wonderful. And I'm typically not a guy that falls in love with defensive interior because it's usually a less valuable position unless you're like these very good pass rushers like Chris Jones, like Arnold, or Aaron Donald, Jonathan Allen, guys like that. Even Jeffrey Simmons starting to come into his own. So, yeah, it's just Jalen Carter's different. This is probably one of the best defensive interior classes I've seen since I've started the channel. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good class. I don't know about the Jags going there. Like, where else? Like, I guess technically you can't add another pass rusher. So yeah, I guess this ain't a bad play. This ain't a bad call. Maybe you add to the corner room, but they've invested a lot at the corner position. You could swing for. I really think that this draft's capable of having 3 top 10, top 15 tackles. It's just those guys need to play, and we'll talk to him when we get to him. If he has them on here, I can imagine he has guys like Skoronski and Paris Johnson. I'll be curious if he has Broderick Jones as a guy that can emerge. I'm trying to think of other tackles in this class. I mean, I think those are like the big 3. Without like looking at my own notes, like, I don't know. That tackle video is gonna be fun though. Is this the Giants? No, it's the Detroit Lions. They go quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke. I'm a fan of Van Dyke. The dude can sling the ball around. He's a guy that legitimately could switch the gears on the ball, being a former pitcher. He could throw a lot of different balls, and now he operates in a much better offense than he was initially because like he was literally throwing to like last year was a very vertical offense, and like you ain't going through progressions until like guys are like 10 yards down the field. It was kind of a mess. And I could say that as a Hurricanes fan. It just was kind of a mess. But I like Van Dyke to replace Jared Goff. I'm kind of on board with that. Like Van Dyke is a guy that I think could emerge. Obviously, Anthony Richardson is just a freak physically. It's just can he play consistently well? Can he not be late on throws? Because that he kind of has the illusion of he's an inaccurate quarterback when he's just late on throws. So yeah, I like this. I think Detroit they probably would love to get a quarterback in this draft, but we'll see how they do this season. On to the Chicago Bears. They go JSN, Jackson Smith Njigba. Out of Ohio State, they get a high-end, in my opinion, high-end slot receiver. You can go check out my receiver rankings as I kind of go into it. And it really depends on how the NFL views the slot position. Because, like, Cooper Kupp, you'd be like, look at what he did last year. And he's doing that a lot from the slot. I think like 70% of his snaps last year came from the slot. So it's like you could build an offense where the slot receiver role is very valuable, and if you want to get a guy that can just do that extremely well at a high level, then JSN's kind of your guy. But yeah, Bears, they need receiving help. They need to start adding around freaking Justin Fields in general. N'Keal Harry ain't gonna cut it. All right, this looks like the Panthers. Do we got the Panthers here? Panthers, they go Miles Murphy. Yo, I'm so glad I have not seen too many mocks that put Miles Murphy, I deem him as a top 5 guy, let alone in the top 10. I love that. I love Miles Murphy. Adding that opposite of Brian Burns, because it is kind of a question. Does Yatir Gross-Matos, does he kind of emerge? Does he become that pass rusher next to him? Remind y'all, they don't have a Hassan Reddick anymore, so I like taking Miles Murphy. To me, he's the top 5 guy in this class, and there goes my top 5 guys right there, with Carter, Anderson, Murphy, and then you got the 2 quarterbacks. So it's going to be interesting to see where the first tackle comes off the board. All right, let's take a gander. The Jets take Michael Mayer. Ooh, I like Mayer a ton. I actually just released my tight end rankings yesterday. So if you want to go check that out, I'll give you my top 10, which is a lot more than you're going to see from other channels. I'll just say that. But Mayer's good, dude. Like, he's not like explosive as a receiver, but he's going to be a guy that can consistently move the chains. Very solid hands, very good run blocker. What he can do after the catch is lower his shoulder and gain a few tough yards. Like, he's a good athlete. I don't know if he's top 10, but like I think you get to that pick 15 and you start to think about him. Like, I think he's like a top 15, top 25 type. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this one, Sway. If you're the Giants, like, you would want to go quarterback. I know 4 quarterbacks are already off the board, but like, if we're drafting this high, that means the offense has got some work to do. Because I actually really like the Giants' defense, and it's like the other position, what they would be picking from, maybe linebacker. Maybe more pass rush, actually. I mean, I know they got KT and Aziz. I mean, this interior class is pretty darn good. Do you take another interior here? Because it would be like Brian Brazzi. You got Jaquilin Roy. Was it Sika Ika? Probably mispronouncing that. He would be interesting to add. I don't know, man. That's kind of a tough spot for the Giants. Let's see. What do we have here for the Washington football team? They go offensive line. And I like that he lists Peter Skoronski as offensive line. The dude came in as like the top center recruit, and they had to force him to play tackle after Rashawn Slater opted out. And he just did it very well. But he doesn't have desirable length. And there's gonna be questions: is he a better guard? Is he a better NFL guard than he would be a tackle? I think those are things that might keep him out of the top 10. But the dude's top 20, like, no ifs, ands, or buts. mean, if you're watching it, what are you drafting this cat to be guard? I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Let's keep it going. This gold. Ooh, is this the Saints? No, it's the Steelers. Keely Ringo. Absolutely love Ringo. I did my corners video already. You could go check out me just raving about how this class is Keely Ringo and nobody else. Like it's a firm distance between, I think, the next closest guy. I don't think anyone's touching Ringo. There's some areas, yes, Ringo could get better, but keep in mind he was a first-year starter last year, and he's got great closing speed, great size. I'm a big fan. Steelers do need to kind of like rejuvenate that cornerback room. And then we got another blue team here. Who be the blue team here? Here at 12. It's the New England Patriots. Oh, no hope for the Patriots. Eli Ricks. I'm not that in love with Eli Ricks. I think he came in at number 3 on my cornerback rankings. Like, there's going to be questions about his speed. He's going to be a press guy. He's got to get his hands on wide receivers early if he's going to win. He's not a guy you want in off coverage. Going to Alabama, I think, was good for him. He did have the arrest, like back in, I think, March or May. So people are going to question there are going to be character concerns, though. I looked back and it just looks like an isolated incident of just a young kid being stupid. So Patriots, yeah, going corner, I can buy that. Woo, man, they got the Patriots low here at 12. Bill Belichick must not be happy. Then again, man, I don't know what they're doing in terms of like offensively with their coaching staff. They could go wide receiver here as well. Like, I'm a big fan of the Boutte, so could go here. Next, we got the Eagles. Nolan Smith. Check out my edge list. I'm not wild about Nolan Smith. Love his get off. Dude needs to add size. His win rate's not elite, so there's a lot he needs to do this year. Keep in mind the defense he was playing on last year, like his win rate should have been bonkers, and it really wasn't. And I feel like if they're grabbing Nolan Smith, they're bringing a guy that's basically playing Hassan Reddick's role. That's going to be whatever they bring Nolan Smith in for. That's going to be Reddick's role on defense. And you sign that guy to a 3-year deal. Maybe you could get out of it after 2 years, maybe even 1 year. I don't know off the top of my head how the contract's structured. But I don't know. I don't like this pick. But things could change. Again, we have a whole college football season and off-draft season process to go through. So a lot can change. But I think this edge class is like really good. This has to be the Minnesota Vikings, right? All right, Minnesota. Yep, Minnesota Vikings go Isaiah Foskey. Another cat that I was like, this guy's ceiling is real high, but just with his frame, his physical skill set, I think the floor is a lot higher on a guy like this. This team does have Daniil Hunter. To be fair, maybe he's not long, like in the plans for the future. They brought in Zadarius Smith. So maybe this is something to like looking forward into the future. I don't know. If I'm the Vikings, like I think it'd be fun to add more receivers, especially with how they're anticipating that offense to be. Maybe you go ahead and you go for some interior talent here. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Maybe Layden Robinson. Maybe. Like, honestly, like, Voorhees would be freaking nuts here. But that's also a bit early for Voorhees. So, yeah, that's fine. I mean, I got I think, a top 20 grade on Foskey, so sure. Raiders? That looks like the Raiders, right? Oh, I jumped too far ahead. Uh-oh. Actually, no, let's do 2 picks, and I can discuss both. All right. So, and it's my Dolphins. So, Antonio Johnson getting drafted by the Raiders. I like Johnson. I don't know if I'm totally in love with Johnson as a lot of other people are. Simply because like now he moves to a more like he's gonna be playing safety a lot more this upcoming season. Because last year he played a lot in the slot. So seeing him in a safety role I think is gonna do wonders. I mean, yeah, they got Merrick, so adding Johnson to go along with Merrick, helping that secondary out, I think is key. Um, I think they could probably add more depth to the, not even more depth, just more talent to the corner position. Maybe this is the part of the draft where you're like, okay, let's go ahead and add offensive line talent, because we see Paris Johnson go here to the Dolphins. Yeah, boy. I like Paris Johnson. He might be literally the best person in terms of character in this draft. When I get to my tackles video, like you're gonna hear me rave about just the work this guy does within his community and within his own foundation that he started. The guy's just a great person, and will be playing tackle for the first time this year. But the dude's got the build of a tackle, and he was really just playing guard by necessity. Like, he was just too good to keep off the field. And honestly, they should have probably had him on the field instead of a guy like Nicholas Petit-Frere, who probably would have been better suited at guard rather than like vice versa, than having Johnson play guard and Petit-Frere play tackle. I'd rather had that vice versa, but Paris Johnson's good, gets his first crack at playing tackle, and I think it'll go very well. Dolphins going tackle. To be fair, our right tackle position is I don't have a lot of confidence between Liam Eichenberg and Austin Jackson. Also with Terran Armstead, a guy that I don't know when was the last time he was healthy, like for a full season. So that kind of works out. All right, this one's the Tennessee Titans. They go Kayshon Boutte to pair up there with Trevon. Or who was it? No. Oh my gosh, his name's on the tip of my tongue. The Arkansas cat. Treylon Burks. Bam, there we go. Treylon Burks. Because Burks might end up just like being a big slot, or even like a big guy, big vertical guy on the outside. They still have Robert Woods, though. I think he could end up being a cap casualty after the season. But I love Boutte. Him going to 17 feels like a bit of a steal. This guy is so good after the catch and just so quick. Oh, big fan. Is this the Eagles? Because I know they're going to end up having a lot of picks here. There go Bijan Robinson. I like Bijan. Top running back, easy. Sorry, spoiler for my running backs list, but if anyone and their mom has a running back ahead of Bijan Robinson, you're just wrong right now. You're just wrong. Bijan's a guy that's capable. Actually, he's played receiver and slot there for Texas as well, so he's a bit more of an offensive player, offensive weapon they could utilize in a lot of different ways. Him going to the Eagles would be fun. Like, the Eagles, you're gonna have multiple draft picks in the first, so might as well use it on a guy like Bijan Robinson right here at 18. And that's probably where he's gonna be around in my when I come out with my big board. And then we got, is this like the Cardinals pick? Okay. And they're going Cam Smith. Big fan of Cam Smith. He ended up being one of the older guys in this draft class. Like, he's gonna be 23 when he plays his when he plays his first, like, week one of the 2023 NFL season. He'll be 23, so he's a bit older than some of the other corners in this class. But the dude's ball skills is nuts. The Cardinals, their cornerback room is terrible. It's one of the worst in the league. I was like, when I did my deep dive on the Cardinals, I was like, man, I don't know how I had this team projected to do this good. I really feel like I projected their ceiling, and I didn't feel good about it. But yeah, Cam Smith would be a good pick. He's a very feisty corner, a very strong corner. Like, if a guy's going to go up, catch the ball on him, like, Cam Smith does a good job to make sure that you're not going to come down with the ball. Like, he will fight until you are on the ground. Like, the dude's good. Then this one's, all right, Texans, they go Brian Brazee out of Clemson. Hopefully he has a healthy season. He's a former 5-star recruit, I believe. Good length, great motor. They do need to add more efficient players there to the interior there in Houston. And honestly, if you're Houston, you just want to draft good players. Like, just bring in talent. And no, this is good for me. This is good value for him right now. He's top 20, top 15 for me. And then this is the Colts. Tanner McKee. Oh, they're like, okay, let's go ahead and get the heir apparent to Matt Ryan. And they're going with another Stanford kid because things worked out with Andrew Luck. Well, at least they would have, if they built an offensive line in front of him first. Like, at some point in his career, not even first, at just some point in his career. I like Tanner McKee. He's working with a very he's not working. There's not a lot of talent around him. Like, his best playmakers are probably like Benjamin Urasek, the tight end, and EJ Smith, Emmett Smith's son, who needs to stay healthy. He was like banged up a lot of last year, but now he looks like he's gonna be the lead back there, and dude's got some talent. I'll just say that. No surprise, but yeah, they go out and get their quarterback here. I don't mind that two bit. Well, yeah, I'm a big fan of Tanner McKee. I was talking about him last year. He was one of my favorite quarterbacks until he decided to return. And man, would he have been my number one quarterback? I think he definitely would have been my number two or three. Because I really liked Sam Howell, and I believed in the upside of Malik Willis. But yeah, no, Tanner McKee, watch out, man. I could see him being a back end of the first round quarterback. Tell me this isn't the Eagles pick again. Nope, it's Dallas Cowboys. Oh, what kind of... You need to work on that blue gradient back there. It literally looks green. But they go linebacker Noah Sewell, so they get someone to actually play in the middle there with Micah Parsons, who's more of this versatile piece where he can come off the edge, they can play in the middle. But Noah Sewell, my concerns with Noah Sewell, this dude hits hard, hits like a train. My concerns with him is he had a lot of missed tackles that resulted in a lot of yards after the catch. Like there was one rep where I saw him just blow up the offensive lineman, and then he goes to lay a hit stick on the running back, and he just the running back's able to keep his balance and then sprint off for like a 7-yard gain. And it's like, dude, you could have just wrapped him up for like a -3 yards. There are cases again where he slips off pass catchers and they go for like 10 to 15 yards. Like, if he can get consistent at that, because I don't think he's going to be a guy that makes splash plays in coverage. So if you're not going to do that in coverage, at the very least you need to be able to minimize gains, and he wasn't doing that. So Noah Sewell, if he steps up in that regard, he'll probably be my top linebacker because he's totally capable of doing it. Is this the Ravens? Yep, Ravens. Jordan Addison. So they get their replacement for Hollywood Brown. Okay. Jordan Addison's fine. I like him. Bit undersized. He's not nearly as physical as a guy like Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith, despite his thin frame, never allowed himself to get bullied at the line. Never allowed himself to get bullied during the route. Was a banger of a route runner. And I think Jordan Addison's just not that. You can see physicality will knock him off his route and mess with the timing of the play. But the dude's fast. If you like to force missed tackles, again, watch my wide receiver video if you want to check out more about Jordan Addison. And then here's the Bengals. They get Eric Gilbert. Freaking love Eric Gilbert. I'm so happy that he's going to play this year. Missed last year because of personal reasons. He put on 300 pounds at the winter. He was weighing 260 during the spring game, and he was working a lot at receiver. Looks like he's going to be like a big slot or wide receiver, because keep in mind that Georgia has a lot of talented tight ends. I mean, Brock Bowers is going to be a first-round pick in 2024, and they also have Darnell Washington, who might be the best blocking tight end in this class, built like an ox. But I like Gilbert a ton. So, yeah, I really could see him going to the first, man. I think he has the chance to be an elite, or how they say, generational prospect. He's going to be a very good tight end prospect. All right, let's move to this next batch. We got the Miami Dolphins. We got two first rounders. They get Jacqueline Roy. or Jaquelin Roy out of LSU. Check out my interior rankings because I'm a big fan of him. Big fan of him. I like that. I like the idea of the Dolphins getting a little bit more pass rush and excitement there in the middle of the defense. Because like Christian Wilkins is fine. Like he's more of an all-around guy. He's not a guy that's going to consistently get after the quarterback there on the interior. But like he's a guy that can push the pocket. He's a very good run stuffer. Like he's fine. But to get someone like this, because oh man, Roy, he's quick. He's got pop behind his hands. He's got good upper body strength. Like people are gonna rave about this dude's footwork. Like he got quick feet. So yeah, I'm a fan. Let's see. This is the Seattle Seahawks to go Henry Tua out of Bama. He's got some work to do, but like I can see why people say like physically and athletically, yeah, the dude could be like the first linebacker off the board. In all honesty, he just needs to refine his game, become a better tackler, stuff along those lines. But I don't know if they necessarily need to add linebacker there. They got Jordan Brooks. They have oh my gosh, can't remember the other cat's name. Was it Cody Barton? Right? Barton? Something like that. So yeah, maybe you add more linebacker. I feel like you could just address like a more valuable position, especially if you have this many first round picks. 2. I mean, where else can they go? Maybe you go receiver. Maybe you go with the offensive line. Because I mean, I think they're gonna end up starting like Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas. And while I really like both those prospects, they're rookies. Typically, that's not always going to be good. Starting 2 rookies, they're at tackle. So I don't know, man. Adding some more talent on the offensive line is always good. They got a couple of developmental guys at corner, so you could attack the corner position here. But I mean, the guys you're looking at are like. Or who? Like Garrett Williams. Actually, Garrett Williams would be awesome. I actually kind of like that. All right, this one's the Chargers. They go with Broderick Jones. I think he's gonna explode this year. He looked good when filling in for who was it? Jamari Sawyer. He looked good when he filled in for Sawyer. I think the dude has potential to be a top 10, top 15 pick in this tackle class. We just need to now see it for a full season. Big fan of this cat's game. I'm sure the Chargers would love to get that right tackle position correct. And honestly, they bring him in and you got an offensive line set for the next like 3 years, because obviously you got guys there on the interior getting a bit older, and Lindsay and what was it? Flyer? Oh my gosh. Who's their left guard? Matt Flyer? That doesn't sound right. You let me. I'm not gonna look it up, but you let me know. Former Pittsburgh tackle / guard, really looked good at guard last year. Pretty sure he's like 30. I could be wrong about the age there. All right, let's take a look at who the Packers get. Andre Carter, his name finally comes up. Ooh, that would be kind of sweet. Andre Carter, a lot of people love this cat. And I'm not completely on board yet, but I'm willing to say, yeah, he could be a top 20 pick. The dude does need to get into an NFL weight room because he does look a little scrawny. But again, at 6'7", you're going to look kind of thin. Doesn't matter. You're 265. There's other aspects, like he needs to become more refined as a pass rusher. But like, dude, the raw talent of Andre Carter is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right, we got the Detroit Lions with another pick here, Quentin Johnston. So I guess they got DJ Chark on a 1-year deal, and grabbing a very physical, big body receiver like Johnston, I'm cool with. I love freaking Quentin Johnston. Like, go watch that Oklahoma game and just watch him just dog that secondary for Oklahoma. And he lets them know it. I love this guy's mentality. I love his trash talk. I'm a big fan of Johnston this year. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, they go running back. Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs is fine. I'm a little less high than, I guess, the community on him. I think he's good out in space. I think his contact balance could be a bit better. But to be fair, Georgia Tech, he was constantly looking for the home run because the blocking there wasn't great and they were typically playing behind. But why, if you're the Chiefs, are you going running back in the first round again? Like, why? I think that's just a dumb pick. I do have, I will say this, I have 2 first-round grades on running backs. While, like, Bijan Robinson's going to be, like, top 20, I do have a guy that has a first-round grade, late first-round grade. It ain't Gibbs, it's someone else. We'll get to it when I do my running back rankings. There's a guy I absolutely love. I think this would be a dumb pick. Why are you going running back, Kansas City? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Joey Porter. A lot of people really like Joey Porter. I like Joey Porter. He made my top 10. I think there's a lot of areas he needs to work on because he's very handsy. I think his play recognition could be a bit better. But Joey Porter's a good prospect. I could definitely see him sneaking into the first round by this time. Not this time, but by April next year. So Joey Porter's good. Just because I'm not as high on him as like guys like I know Alex from Hail Mary Sports is really high. Obviously Tom Downey's really high on him. Just because I'm not high up doesn't mean he won't go that high. And I could change, honestly, a year of play, I could change my perception of him if he improves in some areas. This is Buffalo. This has to be Buffalo, right? They haven't picked yet. Okay. Oh, they go with the defensive lineman. They go with, was it Siaki Ika? Man, I'm going to get his name. I'm going to get his name down. Don't worry. This dude's a mammoth. Honestly, they need a big bodied player on that interior. Ed Oliver, yeah, he ain't big body, but he brings a pass rush. So grabbing Ika, a guy that who is literally has been able to push the pocket and showed some solid, like legit pass rushing for a guy that's 350. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go at the back end of the first round. I'm a big fan of this cat. Right, and I think let's see, at the end, okay, he has players that didn't make it here at the end. Okay, anyway, I guess we could talk about some of these guys. There's Anthony Richardson. Kind of talked about him, a guy that has like all the physical tools, just needs to put it together. Jermaine Burton, go look at my wide receiver rankings. I love Burton. I think he's going to have a big rise. Not nearly as high on Josh Downs as the consensus. My boy Zion Nelson, dude, freaking love Zion Nelson. I remember last year, during like around this time, I was like, listen, Charles Cross and Zion Nelson are 2 guys who have showed a lot, but they need to show they can take that next step if they're going to be considered first rounders. And I really thought it was going to be Nelson. Ended up being Charles Cross. Zion Nelson, I don't think Zion Nelson could be I don't want to say he can't be a top 10 pick. Because I could see it, dude. I love Zion Nelson. But I do have my reservations. I love Voorhees. He would have been a day 2 pick if he went into the 2022 NFL draft. Don't know why he decided to come back, but check out my offensive interior video. I talk a lot about Voorhees. Dude's just NFL ready. Don't know why he came back. Maybe he wanted to see USC actually win. He feels good about Lincoln Riley. Does he have other guys? Okay, so it goes over some more guys here. Gervin Dexter, I think you could throw into that first round mix with this interior class. Like I said, it's a very good interior class. Felix, I don't have my pronunciation in front of me. I think it's Anyudike Uzama, which I had my pronunciations in front of me. He's very similar to, I think, Foskey, a guy that's with his build has a high floor, but could really have a high ceiling, like because he's got some impressive tape. He just needs be more consistent. BJ Ojolari, he's literally like Nolan Smith. If Smith put on like an extra 15 pounds, like Ojolari is really good. I was a big fan of his brother as well, Aziz, who plays for the Giants now. Clark Phillips, bit undersized, but boy, this guy is such a smooth mover at corner. Ugh, big fan. And then Jalen Catalon. We ain't gonna see Jalen Catalon in the first round. I'm just gonna break that to you. That dude's injury history is scary. We'll probably see him on day 3 because dude can be a special player. But this dude hasn't had a healthy season since his junior year of high school. So, big fan of Catalan. Unfortunate injury history. But man, this video's gone long, man. Got to talking about all these guys. You let me know let me know what you think in the comment section below. Prospect rankings return next Monday, as well as the deep dive series. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.